Welcome to Moving Through and Beyond, a podcast dedicated to sharing inspired journeys of redefining life, vision, and purpose after immense hardship and grief. My goal with this podcast is to give you hope and to let my guest journeys inspire you to make the choice to keep looking up. I'm your host, Carey Conley. Hey everybody, this is Carey Conley, the host of Moving Through and Beyond podcast, and I get to bring on some people onto this podcast that are doing really big, monumental things in this world. And I have two guests actually on with me today that are going to be sharing with you an event that they're going to be hosting in January that I'm super excited about. And one of those guests has been on with me before. This is Dr. Robb Kelly. Hey Robb, great to have you back.
Great to be here, Carey. Thank you for having me back.
Oh my gosh, you're so much fun.
I know, I can't help it. It's my age. I don't give a shit anymore. Sorry.
This is the truth, isn't it?
Yes,
and then his business partner, or you guys are working together, collaborating, Donna Franklin. Donna, I'm thrilled to have you here.
Thank you so much for allowing me to be here.
Yeah, fun. So I had Dr. Robb on before you guys because he is known in the world as the addiction doctor. And I'll share a little bit, have him share just briefly a little bit about his story that he shared with me in the podcast we did several months ago. But I want you to know how amazing this man is, what he's been through, his mental strength, and how he is helping people in the world in a very revolutionary way. So I would love for you to talk a little bit about that, Robb, if you would.
Of course. I mean, it's obviously alcoholic here, an addict, messed up my first life. As some of you may have known from listening before. But yeah, I'm carrying two PhDs, one in behavioral science, one in psychology. The first one I didn't graduate until about 6-7 years ago. So yeah, I wanted to change the world. And we first started by changing with alcohol and drugs. And then we got into childhood trauma. And today it's different because I'm glancing at my whiteboard. I'd say 12% of the patients we're carrying right now are trauma, just not being able to get anywhere in life, depressed, wants that push to really go forward in life. So we created that program just to do that, because I believe a couple of things, that when we set our mind to something, we can actually achieve that. And don't anybody just say, well, it's easy for you. I can't achieve. You can achieve anything. Just look at the last presidency. Forget your political views. We had a business running the country. Don't dare tell me that you can't do anything you put your mind to, because there is a way to accomplish that. And secondly, everybody needs the opportunity to thrive. Once you find out your real identity, because that's what it's all about. And I get a lot of this with the separated wives. They've lost our identity because it's been the husband's identity most of the time. Once you find them two things, you'll find yourself on a journey that is beyond your wildest dreams. So if you can imagine your wildest dreams and then all of a sudden touch the ceiling, that's where you could go. But a lot of things happen, non-belief and childhood trauma.
This gave me so much encouragement when you and I first met, Dr. Robb, when Courtney reached out and said we would love to meet you and be on the podcast, because most of my listeners know this, that I have been through quite a lot of trauma myself over the past 9 years. Lost my husband to suicide in 2014, and then my 25-year-old son 3 years later also to suicide. And, at the time, I did not realize at the time, Robb, until I know what I know now, how much of that trauma got trapped in my body. Because I just picked up and ran. I had a business to run, kids to take care of, the whole thing. And it hasn't been until literally the past 2 years where I've started realizing how much of that has been ruling my thoughts, and how much, that identity thing that you're talking about, how much that had become my identity. And the power of the mind is everything.
Yeah, it is. And when you realize that, it's like, I'm going to tell you something, guys, that women do over 1 million times a day, and guys do, I don't know, not as much, is criticize, look in the mirror, criticize ourselves. So what happens when we get up in the morning is we do our breath work, our teeth work, our mirror work. And then if you stand close to the mirror, which most women do, I've watched them, they lean over, they put the makeup on, you see all the blemishes. You never go out to a meeting and speak to somebody like this. Okay. So the key is, ladies and guys as well, is to step 6 feet away from the mirror. That's how people see you, because this is how the eyes work, the optical eyes work, is when we're 6 foot is the magic length. You see like other people see us, and the image is amazing.
Right.
But we don't. So all up on our mind when we meet anybody, speak to anybody, we've got all them blemishes running around subconsciously, and we don't perform. Match that with the stuff you've been through, Carey, and me and Donna. It's no wonder that we get to a certain point in our career and our love life and friendship, and we stop.
Right.
We stop for several reasons, but we need to get past that to live your best life.
Yeah. And again, it gives me encouragement to know that I have the power to do that it's all here. It's
So
not a matter of biology so much. It's not a matter of, genes or what I'm telling myself. Well, let me retract that. It's a matter of what I am telling myself and that I can change that story.
Yeah, and it's easy, and everyone can do it unless you've got brain damage or something like that. But we don't tell ourselves that story. We tell ourselves internal dialogue will kill you. Drop it down on the floor, all of a sudden, oh, you stupid idiot. Stop doing that, guys.
Yeah.
Because your subconscious brain will take that in, and the mind will listen to that. And what happens is when we go for that job, that car, that girl, that house, when we go for that opportunity that's going to happen to us, subconscious mind comes in. Oh, yeah, you stupid idiot. What did dad tell you? You're never going to amount to anything. And this is subconscious. And you walk in there, 20% for the job, 80% don't want it because you're too scared.
Yeah. I think it's also encouraging, especially, Rob, for people with addictions to know that it is a matter of mind. And you can retrain the brain to retrain your habits.
100% retrain the brain. 100, and again, not brain damage, but 100%. Now, self-sabotaging neural pathways, everybody has trauma, rule our lives most of the time.
Right.
Now, 300 neural pathways die every single day. So if you create 300 more good ones every single day, you can see how your mind starts changing and believing who you really are instead of the self-sabotage that you're always going down. You can fully rewire, recircuit the brain 150%. Seen it over 8,000 times. Well, I can't. Shut up. Yes, you can. I've seen it 8,000 times, and you're no different, guys, listening at home. It's like you need to do something, to get yourself over that childhood trauma.
Yeah.
And again, people say, I haven't got childhood trauma. That's the biggest red flag. That's the biggest red flag that I hear all the time.
It's so true. And again, I didn't really realize how much of that was a part of my life as well until I really started diving into this and understanding it. But, here's the other thing, and I think I talked to you about this. I now have grandchildren. I have a 3-year-old and a 9-month-old, 2 little boys. And what I know now, I look at him and I think because he's 3, now he's starting to get the messages and starting to identify, right? Yeah. And it's so hard for me not to want to, be with him 24/7 to make sure he gets the right messages all day long.
Yes.
Right?
Crazy, absolutely.
Yeah, I just truly I keep telling my daughter, can we just homeschool him?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They're the best years because that's when we start training them from birth because our trainers, they teach us how to speak and everything like that. So it's really important. So as an adult, you need to ask yourself, so you're getting all your needs met. And as a child, what we're telling them, what we're doing, because anything less than nurturing as a child, guys, is child abuse. It's a form of child abuse. So, I was sent to the zoo for a year from my professor to watch chimpanzees. Mind blowing. Every single inch, every single paw, different. Oh, it's just mind blowing. But they nurture. Now, we can't do that with parents working and stuff.
You're right.
But the time you do have, how many times have you heard, Carey and Donna, somebody say, oh my God, it was 2 minutes ago I was taking them to kindergarten and now they're off to college. What happened to them years, guys?
Right.
They flew by. That little child that you're sending to kindergarten at the age of, 3, let's say, you are never going to get that moment back.
Right.
And you've wasted all that time worrying about what? Oh, I've got this, I might not get that job. About what? Worry is a wasted emotion. It's not real.
Right. So
Nurture,
true.
love each other, care for each other. Get the families back eating around the table at nighttime and Sunday lunch. Make it happen. Well, we haven't done that for yet. Make it happen. If you think you're listening to this by mistake, me and Carey and Donna know you are not. Talking to you guys. Come on. I'm waiting for you to get your shit together. Yeah. Boom, baby.
I knew you would sugarcoat things, Rob.
I know.
And I'm with you on this because I did a virtual workshop, a 3-hour vision workshop, this is what I do: is I teach people how to get their someday plan out on a paper. And I did it with a group of women who were somewhat around my age, and several of them were talking about how, they really wish their husbands had already retired, and they really wish that they could quit their job too, and maybe they could do that in about 2 years. And I was like, oh my gosh, you guys, seriously? You're not promised tomorrow. Just make a game plan. We got to make this happen. Especially one of them was talking about how she wishes she could spend more time with her grandson. I was like, oh my gosh, you can do that yesterday.
We haven't got time, guys. Everyone thinks they have time. We don't have time. Do it today. Date that girl, buy that house, buy that car. Do it today. Start that business today. Don't wait until tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes, as Garth Brooks said.
Yes. So Donna, how did you get involved in all this?
So I actually went through Robb's program.
Okay.
And amazing. It is one that changed my life. I mean, I've always done really well as far as in business, because I never wanted to be poor again. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, growing up without any food and things like that, really, puts a lot of stuff in your head.
Sure.
And, I'm not good enough. People are better than me. Other people are better than me. They have a lot more than, just those kind of things that you grow up with, and people making fun of you and just all that stuff. And so when I went through Robb's program, that's when he's like, and I'm going to, if it's okay, I'm going to cuss a little bit. He's like, that's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
He said, nobody's better than you. Nobody's better than any. We are who we are, and we are all amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And I just gave myself chills, because when Robb tells you that, you're like, okay, yes, sir. But, and then I've been a real estate agent for 16 years. And toward the end of mine and Robb's, I was going through this program, we were talking about some things that we could actually do together. And this is something that we came up with. Let's help real estate agents to overcome the craziness that's in their brains. Let's help them to rewire their brains so that they can, all of them, be better than what they are now. Because I've written 2 books. My first book I wrote when I found out that 9 out of 10 real estate agents get out of the business in their between 1 and 3 years.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Right. And that's why I wrote the book, so I could help. So when I was telling Robb that, he's like, we really need to do something. We can do something. And that's what this conference is about. But I honestly think, yes, it's going to be great for real estate agents. But honestly, I think anybody that listens is going to get so much out of it. And I truly feel this is going to be life-changing for anybody that comes.
Yeah, I obviously, for sure. I mean, and not just in that industry, also any age, any background they have, education, lack of, all the things, because this is universal. I am very excited that pretty soon I'm going to be launching. Well, I've officially opened the doors for a Facebook group to start filling it with young adults. I have a heart for working with them. Obviously, after losing my 25-year-old son, that age, and I'm sure you guys know the statistics, early 20s to early 30s, very scary what's happening for them right now. They don't know their power. They're drifting through life, and they need people like you guys to remind them, you can do whatever you want to do. You just have to understand how to use the tools. And I know when you're working with Dr. Robb, right, it's a consistency thing. Because every day you need to hear that message, because we're battling some messages, some negativity that's been there for a really long time. That's right. So I'm sure it's not the easiest work, but it's worth it so much.
It was amazing.
So, yeah.
Absolutely.
So I would love for you guys to talk a little bit about the conference, what you're doing, the summit, and what kind of tips are you going to be giving people there? What kind of training and things that you're going to be teaching?
I'll go first, Donna, because I'm excited about this. NeuroRealty.com, I think, is the website. But yeah, we put this conference together, realtors and mindset. That's what it's all about. So I was sad when I heard, that a big percentage of people leave in the first year. And the reason why they do is because nobody's then mentoring them. So you pass all your tests, you go into a big company, and nobody's going to help you because it's dog eat dog in this world. So we decided that, can we actually work with realtors to do the same? And my answer was, of course we can. So the course will take you from A to Z of everything you need to know about real estate. That's where Donna comes in. I'm going to show you the mindset to make that first $1 million in the first year. And people go, oh, that's impossible. With an attitude like that, it probably is.
Yes.
But we're going to show you how easy it is to reprogram the mind, reset your lifestyle, go out there and earn what you are worth. Because people call me all the time, Carey, go, I'm starting to practice, how much should I charge? And my answer is always the same. How much are you worth? That's it. I'm worth $1,500 an hour. That's what I charge. Because I'm worth that, but I'll just charge $25. So when you have to build that up, same with realty, you have to start going out there and acting as if you've already sold $1 million house. Hell, go out and walk through some $1 million houses yourself. That's what Donna does, sells $1 million houses because the mindset is right. And once we can do that and help people, and Donna will go through in a second the realtor side of it, but it's everything from your paperwork to your taxes to everything you need to know within 6 hours. And of course, I'm just going to rewire, re-talk about things that you haven't heard before and some of the things you have heard before, but with a twist on it. So that when you come out, we are one of the very few conferences. You can look at every conference online, guys. We are very few people. And what happens is if we don't change your life within that 6 hours, we're going to refund you money. Okay? So that's the guarantee that we have. Donna, I'll let you tell in depth.
Well, I'm so excited because obviously I have a heart for real estate agents. I just have a heart for humans, but real estate agents in particular, since I've been in the business for so long, because I know what it's like to be in the business and not know what to do. And for me, I was able to find someone, 2 or 3 people to just say, hey, why don't you check this out? Now, it wasn't like a full-blown course or anything. They just said, well, look at this person or look at this coach and that type of thing. So you have to learn so much on your own. And I totally understand why people get out of real estate. But I had a young daughter and I was like, I am not going to be poor again. And this was my business. So I was all in. Yeah. And I made sure that I did everything I could. And that's what it's all about as far as helping realtors to know, listen, you can do this. We are going to change your neural pathways to help you in that way. But I'm going to give you some tips. Oh my gosh, I have so many things to help them because I've been there. Yeah. And we're going to rock this and we're going to change lives as we're doing it. Yeah. I cannot wait.
This is so powerful, you guys, because it's not people ask me, are you a life coach or a business coach? I do both because I can teach you the skills. Specifically, I've worked with a lot of other speakers and coaches, how to figure out their signature talk and how to get out there and speak and all that. But I can't get them to get out there if they've got some blocks. Right. And we have to uncover some of those. So in the beginning, I don't think they really expect this, Dr. Robb, that they're going to have these emotional breakthroughs first.
Yeah, I honestly think, Kara, that's good. That's going to be the shock. Look, I've been in this industry a long time and I work with high profile people. My current salary right now is around $300,000 a month. That's what I bring in. Okay. You're getting me and Donna, okay, in a conference together for $49. Give me a break. Because it's not about the money, we want to give this away. We want to change your life. We want to get you excited about building your own business, the pitfalls, what to look out for, what to definitely do, stuff like that. And once you start believing in that business, especially when hobby's going, oh, don't be silly, you can't be, or wife's going, don't be silly. No, you can. Yeah. You really can. You can go through and flourish and make this $1 million business. It's not, guys, the amount of people I've taken to that stage, it's not rocket science. It's not hard. The trauma will kill you every single time. Look, remember when we were kids, guys, kicking a football or over here, throw a football. Hey, Johnny, what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, yeah, I want to be a flight instructor. What about you, Billy? I want to be a musician. What happened to them dreams? I'll tell you. They were kicked out of us by our family and friends. It's a stupid, Jill. You can't be a successful real estate. You go to that $9 an hour job and you stay there. And that's the way it really, it's 2024, guys. By the time we do this, it's a different world.
It totally is.
Take them breaks off your imagination.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do anything. Just show them. Of course you can. It's possible.
Yeah.
Get
And I love
excited. Get excited.
I'm very excited. I'm just going to I love here, my own process through this, you guys, over the years is my first business. I had a lot of those messages from my family. You can't do this. Nobody's ever done this. Everybody that industry, because it was network marketing and this was late 80s. It's a lot of taboo. My family are like, you have a business degree and you're going to go do what? I mean, this is, those things work for other people, but not for us. So I had all of these beliefs, but number one is I was not aware that I had them until I started learning from other people to mind your mind, right? And then, so when I did start becoming aware of those thoughts, the second thing I had to really believe, and you touched on this a minute ago, Robb, that I could change it, because that was a limiting thought right there anyway. I thought, well, okay, so I have these thoughts. I didn't really believe that I could change them until I started learning more. And the bigger thing, and this is probably what happened for you, Donna, is that I saw it working in other people. And I thought, all right, there's something to this.
Exactly.
So we have to become aware. We have to be willing to change. And I think all of this is so needed, not only in that industry, but, worldwide.
In life.
Yes.
In life, that's what it's about. And you change your life and you thrive in that day. Worrying, anxiety, tomorrow. Depression, yesterday. What's happening today? 3 parts of the brain set every 24 hours. We get up with a new day. One of the reasons why nobody in the world ever has woken up laughing is because of lack of oxygen when we're breathing low. Okay? The presence of oxygen equals the absence of disease. Go out and check that on Google. So when you get up in the morning, set yourself up for that day. Take the 15 exaggerated breaths in. Go into the bathroom, brush your teeth with your left hand, then your right, next week, left. Do that and then stand in front of the mirror, okay? 6 feet away, look yourself in the eyes and say, I love you 10 times. If your mindset doesn't change an hour later, there's something going on.
I remember you giving those tips before, Robb. So deep breathing, exaggerating breaths.
Yes.
Brushing your teeth with the other hand.
Yes.
6 feet away from the mirror. I'm just repeating this because these are great tips. And telling yourself that you love yourself every day.
Yeah. See, what happens real quick, guys, is the subconscious brain rules our mindset most of the time. Okay. So the mind can run the brain, obviously, but the subconscious brain is here. All the bad stuff's in there here.
Right.
Everything you've seen, you've felt, you've touched, you've heard, everything's there. And our conscious mind is kind of today, but they overlap each other. So in the prefrontal cortex, which real job, is to get a solution to your problem in milliseconds. And it does a great job of doing that. It just doesn't have to be the right answer. So what happens is with childhood trauma is the prefrontal cortex screams out, give me an answer. And what happens is it draws from the subconscious brain, which is telling me I'm a waste of time. I'm no good, never going to amount to anything. Got to get this guy going. The I love yous, all the great stuff. So eventually when the prefrontal cortex shouts for an answer, like, can I get this job? Well, it comes from the conscious brain. The conscious brain goes, hell yes. Next.
And that's so true, because coming from where I came from, extreme poverty, like I said, the only time that we actually had food was in school. And so we grew up without food, and coming from that to being where I am today, who would have believed that?
Right.
Nobody, right? I mean, nobody. I didn't even have a regular set of clothes that were mine until I was 18. And I had money, I'd made my money to do that. And so it's amazing, because not only I had worked on myself so many years. And then when I went with Robb through his program, and now as if those thoughts come to us, which they all do, then now I recognize them and I get rid of them as quickly as possible. And that's what Robb does for us, is to make sure that we change the bad stuff and we put good stuff in. And, bottom line.
Yep. Not easy work, guys. I've worked through a lot of this myself, and I have to tell you, it's the hard stuff, but it works and it's worth it. So can you give us some details about the event coming up?
Yeah, it's on the 6th of January. It's a virtual event. The first one's virtual. We have around 100 tickets. That's all we have. They're so cheap. I'm almost tempted to buy them for you guys. So it's on the 6th. It's a virtual event, though we'll come from our offices. And then all is invited, jump on reserve because there's only 100 spaces, which sounds like a lot, but in the conference arena, it's not a lot. They'll start snapping up. So go and buy them. We promise you an amazing time. And then a couple of months later, we'll be doing the real thing in person, San Antonio, Texas, at the conference center here. So you'll be able to fly over and enjoy more. But the first one, real excited. And it's for 6 hours. If I'm not mistaken, it's 9 till 3 p.m. And you're going to learn everything you need to know about life, mindset, and being a realtor, a successful realtor.
Very powerful, you guys. I'm just honored that I got to be somebody to help promote this for you. We'll absolutely want to keep promoting it and bringing you guys back on. And I'm so honored and blessed to know you guys and what you're doing.
Oh, thank you so much. And I've got to mention before I go, because my assistant always comes over and hits me, but I hate doing it. But it's that time to give back, guys. The RobbKellyFoundation.org. You'll know exactly where your money's going. The guy who's received that money will send you a letter. It's not all that BS that every money goes everywhere. No. So if you have $1 to spare instead of paying the tax man, come and see us.
Awesome. We'll make sure we put that link in the show notes to you guys. So thank you for your time. It's an honor. I always feel so inspired and lifted up after talking to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, hang on. And I just want to thank all the listeners for listening to this episode today of Moving Through and Beyond. I'm Carey Conley, your host, and I'm here just to remind you to keep looking up. If you found this episode inspiring or helpful, please share it with a friend or a family member. In order to be successful on this mission, I can't do it alone. Connect with me at www.careyconley.com. And don't forget to sign up for my weekly Do It On Purpose newsletter. Let's build this life-giving vision movement together to end this epidemic, save lives, and create purpose.